Hi, everybody. This is Gene Mortensen along with Mike Mays, and we are here at Sullivan Field for tonight. The Hilltoppers are going to take on the Taos Tigers. And this is an old district rival from 100 years ago and everything, but with all this COVID stuff, everything's kind of messed up. And Taos, coached by Art Abreu, he's an outstanding coach, and he's really turned that program around. But, Mike, seems like they've been struggling a little this year. Rudy Bach, a good friend of ours from Taos, who the broadcaster up there, he was saying that he thought this should be a pretty good ball game.
Yeah, it really should, Gene. The Taos Tigers coming in here with a record tonight of 1 win, 1 loss. First game of the year, they went to the jungle in Raton and won that game 21-14. Very, very difficult place to play. Yeah, I did not enjoy that venue at all.
Well, the jungle is kind of interesting too, because you go there and they call it the jungle, and then before the game they play all these jungle noises and you hear all the howling and everything.
Yeah, you sure do. They pull out all the stops there in Raton. Then last week, Gene, the Taos Tigers took it on the chin, 48-3 against the St. Mike's Horsemen. Not really sure if that's indicative of how good the Horsemen are, how good or not good the Taos Tigers are. Well, we're going to find out here in just a bit. We're under a minute until the kickoff, and clear night here at Sullivan Field, Gene. A bit chillier than last week.
Yeah, it was last week was actually not a bad night. In fact, it was a pretty good March night for football. And so we're about ready to go here, Mike, and Hilltoppers are going to kick off. They're going to attack the east goal. Taos will attack the west goal, and Carson Dixon lining it up for Los Alamos. And then when he gets the signal from the official, he will let it fly. Hilltoppers in green jerseys and white pants and yellow numbers, and Taos in all white, and maybe, I guess those are black numbers, I guess. Anyway, that is taken by Noah Washington, and Washington is going to move it back up to about that's going to be about the 20-yard line.
Looks like he's been a little short of the 20-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it right around the 18.
Yeah,
good kick there by Dixon. Had some struggles last week, Gene, but nice kick there. Went to the 5-yard line and had some good hang time. Toppers able to cover that one very nicely.
Yeah, they really did. And so here comes Taos, and we'll see what the Taos Tigers are going to come up with here tonight. So they're going to play out of the shotgun, and it looks like the quarterback, that's going to be Damian Eli. So they're lined up and out in motion, and that's going to go Bueno Flores. And right away they're going to air it out right off the bat. Long pass downfield. They got a man open, and he just overthrows him, Mike. And that was the young man who went in motion. That was Bueno Flores.
And he had a couple of steps there down the left sideline. Just couldn't quite connect. The ball just about a yard and a half overthrown. But that didn't miss by a whole lot, Gene.
No, it really didn't. I mean, he stuck those arms out there. That ball just kind of went just a little bit in front of him. That was another step forward, and he would have had that one. But that was a nice pass. So they open up with a long pass down the field. Now this time they're going to put he's the quarterback. He's going to go under center. So Damian Eli, and he's going to hand it up. There's a fumble. The ball's on the ground, and I think it's going to be Los Alamos. I know a Los Alamos player fell on it, and then it scooped away from him. Yeah, right there to fall on for Los Alamos. And that was Seth Yost, but unfortunately it squibbled away from him, and then it just squibbled right into the gut of Angel Polanco. So Angel comes up with the fumble, and we should have covered that easily.
That went right to Yost. I'm surprised he couldn't hang on. He might have gotten stripped in the ground there, but looked like he had a beat on it.
It squiggled off of him. Rolling to his left, Damon Eli. The pass is going to be complete for about 10 yards upfield. and that was going to be completed up to Misael Hermosillo. And so, let's see, Rudy Baca told me it was Hermosillo. He said, make sure you do that. I said, okay, I'll do that. I told Rudy, okay. But they pick up a first down as they move it up to the 29-yard line. So they pick up 11 yards on the play. And Damon Eli, now he's under center once again. They're out of the I formation, and they're going to go over the left side. And, boy, they don't go anywhere. It's just waiting for him that time was Tiki Nieto. So Tiki, a 6 foot, 205-pound sophomore. He's a big kid. And he playing over in a defensive end, and anyway, they tried to go around him, and he just said nothing doing. So they pick up 2 yards, and they're going to move it up to about the 31, and it's going to be second down and 8. And so now this time they'll run out of the shotgun. Abreu does that. Art Abreu, he'll change the formation every time they come up. They're going to put Bueno Flores over on the right side. He was in the backfield. They bring him up to the line, and so Damon now is just going to roll out and keep it himself around the right side. And he gets run out of bounds and across the 40-yard line. That's going to be enough for first down. So Damon Eli, Mike, he just kind of looked downfield a little bit, and I don't think he ever had any intention of throwing it.
It didn't look like he did, but he was getting pressure from the backside. We saw that a little bit last week, Gene. Toppers were able to get some pressure up front, and he did have some pressure from the defensive end on the backside, so he had to just put it under his wing and run.
I formation again, and they're just going to give it to the fullback. Nothing fancy about that one. Fullback lining up in the I right behind the quarterback. And they just handed him, and then the tackle for Los Alamos was made by Tiki Nieto. Or no. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike.
I'm sorry. I was
the ball carrier.
Yeah, the ball carrier, and you know what? I don't know who that was. It was number 24.
We don't have a 24, of course.
None other than the great number 24.
Okay. Eli dropping back, and he's going to air it out way downfield. And they're going to overthrow Angel Polanco. And so that'll bring it back to the ball right now. It'll be spotted back down on about the 43-yard line, still in. And let's see where they're going to pop this down. I think it's going to be on the 43, 44. Anyway, it's still in Tiger territory. And now it's going to be second down. That should be third down.
Yeah, it is third down.
Because they finally moved the down marker. And so this time they'll run out of a pistol. Something different every time. Damon Eli, and he completes it upfield inside the 40-yard line of the Hilltoppers, and heading down the field. Boy, scooping that pass up at time for. See, did you get that number, Mike?
I thought it was number 25, and I don't have a 25.
Yeah. Well, we did the best we could to get these rosters together.
It was a little bit of it was a tough time.
Yes, it really was. Now they'll go into the I. Something different every time under center, and they're going to give it to the tailback, and the tailback, Bueno Flores, and he's going to go straight up the middle. And coming off the bottom of the pile last time for Los Alamos, and that is James Rodriguez. And didn't James Rodriguez run out with a hammer, Mike?
Yes, he did. The Toppers have a sledgehammer that they give to the best performing defensive player from the week before, and that was James Rodriguez. And he did have a nice game against the Santa Fe Demons last week.
Yes, he certainly did. And so they end up picking up about 5 yards, so it's going to be 2nd and 5. And out of the I once again, Eli. And he's just going to a little inside handoff to his fullback. And his fullback spinning and trying to spin around. And that's number 24. And that's who we don't have.
Yes, but number 24 is going to pick up a first down there. Taos doing some pace here on offense. They're already at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, number 4 is Matthew Suazo, Mike, as it turns out.
All right. Matthew Suazo. Well, that was a good move by him. Nice spin move there to pick up the first down.
Yeah. So I just got a message from Kent that says, are they going to show the field this time? And no, they're not going to show the field. They're not going to show the field because they tried to show the field last week, and all they showed was either the track or the bleachers. And we have we had a false start called against the Tigers. And so that cost them 5, so it's going to be 1st and 15. And the ball inside the 30-yard line, almost up to about the 26. And once again, it's going to go to Matthew Suazo. And Suazo, the fullback, he goes right over right guard. And he's going to be dropped for Los Alamos. Boy, and Isaiah Hertzall, 5'5", 135-pound junior. And the Hertzalls last week, Isaiah and Jeremiah had a heck of a ball game. And so we're down to 6:50, well, just under 7 minutes at this point. And it's still a 0-0 ball game. But Taos, they started off, they had the ball. This is the same thing that happened last week. We kicked off to Santa Fe, and then they ate up more than half of the first quarter. And they finally did score. So this time they'll run out of the pistol. And they're going to move Matthew Suazo up. There's a pass that is broken up by Los Alamos. Boy, good job back there for Los Alamos on defending, and that was Nick Dolan. So Nick Dolan, 6'2", 190-pound junior. Boy, he was over there. He just whacked that ball out. He just went flying out of bounds. So that is going to bring up now 3rd down, and 3rd and 11. And let's see, and the ball is right now is at the 22-yard line. So this is certainly 4-down territory for Taos unless they want to kick a field goal. But so they'll line up now in the shotgun once again. So every time it's a different formation. Damon Eli rolling to his left, looking downfield. He's going to tuck it in, and he get by one Hilltopper tackler, and then then he cannot as Tiki Nieto comes in and makes the stop for Los Alamos, and he did not get out of bounds, so the clock is still running, and we're running it down now to 6 minutes, and it's going to bring up 4th down. So a big down here for Los Alamos. It's about 4th and a long 4 for Los Alamos, and the Taos is breaking out. All white uniforms, and then they're kind of black numbers, but very close to black, or maybe very, very dark red. We're going to have a timeout taken by Los Alamos. So anyway, we'd like to remind everybody that if you look on the screen, on the YouTube screen, it says tonight's broadcast will be audio only. The problem they've been having is we don't have any control over the video whatsoever, and that's strictly with the schools. And so last week we got a lot of complaints about the video, which we have nothing to do with, and but it was showing the track most of the time, and it's just, they just been having all kinds of problems with it, and they've been trying to get it worked out. I have no idea what the problem is, but it's kind of been a disaster. And when we do volleyball, they do go ahead and put the video feed on. But the trouble with the volleyball is the video feed follows the audio feed by 1 minute. So we can tell you what happened, and a minute later you can see if we were right. But anyway, Kent, no video tonight.
Well, it's important to keep us on our toes, everybody. So
yes, it is.
Anytime you see us mess up, please let us know. Please let Gene know.
So 4th down, under center. And the I formation, Damon Eli. Long count. Boy, long count. I think he's trying to draw Los Alamos off. Pitches it out. Beno Flores around the right side, and he's not going to go anywhere. Oh, he breaks the tackle. and then he's finally wrapped up, and boy, doing a great job that time at chasing him down, and that was Nick Dolan for Los Alamos. So that's going to turn it over to the Hilltoppers. So the long drive by the Taos Tigers that they started at the 18-yard line, and then they end up down about the 15. Let's see where they're going to spot that. It's going to be on the 16-yard line for the Hilltoppers. 1st and 10 from the 16. So the Hilltoppers ran out of. They've had different formations, but
we get a play stoppage here.
Well,
one of the managers ran out. They may have been changing out footballs. I think that's what they were doing.
Yes, and so, well, they've got 3 people lined up back there in a shotgun, and so they're going to snap it, and they're going to snap the ball. It's going to be snapped now to Cameron Haig, and Cameron, who did not play quarterback last week, is playing quarterback out of this formation, and so back with him is Jose Salazar, and next to him is Tiki Nieto. So that is Cameron Haig. Yes, it is. If our roster is right. So Haig gets the snap, and he's trying to go around the right side, and boy, he's smothered inside the 10-yard line.
Boy, oh boy. Taos, they didn't hesitate. They sent the kitchen sink on that one, and there was just no place for Haig to go.
No, not at all. He caught it, and he took about 4 or 5 steps toward the right, and then he was just buried under nothing but white jerseys, and so they'll line up once again. It's kind of a strange formation, Mike. It's like a shotgun thing, but there's just 3 players back there, almost like a T formation, and Cameron's gonna air it out, and way downfield, and that was intended for Jose Salazar. Jose is an outstanding receiver, but he was overthrown, so all the passes most of the long passes tonight from the quarterbacks had been overthrown, but Damon Eli was successful in a couple of his passes when he was going just short, maybe about 10 yards. But that's going to bring up 4th down for Los Alamos and very long yardage. And they're saying 4th and 17. And so that's going to put Carson Dixon back in the end zone. And he's going to boot it down. It's going to be picked up right at midfield. And then right at midfield and then run out of bounds. Is picking that ball up was Caden Farmer, and Farmer's run out of bounds, and so let's see. He brought it back. Well, he took it right at midfield, and he didn't go very far. It's going to made it up to the 47-yard line. 3 or 4 yard run back was all, and so. The ball stopped down to change of possession with 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Here in the first quarter, still a 0-0 ball game. Taos had a long drive, which the Hilltoppers stopped, and the Hilltoppers went 3 and out on the other side. And so here we are changing balls again.
So these balls are Tom Brady approved, Gene, so everything's fine with them, no problem.
Yeah, we went down on the field before the game, and we checked them ourselves to make sure they inflated right. So, or I should say deflated.
They have to be deflated to the proper pressure.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. So here we go again. Now this time it's the pistol, and Damon Eli back at quarterback. Damon, he's going to drop back. He's got all kinds of protection back there, and he's got a guy open, and he overthrows him again. As he was trying to get it up to Angel Polanco.
Polanco, the only receiver going downfield for Taos.
But, that's weird.
Interesting setup there for the Tigers. Eli had all day to throw.
I mean, he stood back there, and he didn't have one single green jersey even approach him. So now they'll shift over. He'll run out of the pistol this time. And so Damon, he's going to pitch it over. He's going to give it to his tailback around the right side. And, boy, he's got some running room, but he gets tripped up. Boy, I mean, Isaiah Hertzall stopping that one because coming around that side that time was, let's see, that was, I think it was Matthew Suazo, I do believe. Or wait a minute. No, I'm so sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's Beno. That's what I thought. Yeah, Beno Flores. So Beno, he had some running room, and he was going to go, but a shoestring tackle by Isaiah Hertzall stops him, and actually got him right at the line of scrimmage. I don't know, he does pick up a first down. I'm sorry. So he had enough to pick up a first, but now under center. Out of the eye, they give it to the tailback, Beno again, around the right side, and he's on that right sideline, and he's going to go in, and he's going to score. And so, Mike, let's see, what was that about
37 yards for Beno Flores on the just going off tackle on the right side.
Yeah.
Very similar to the play they just ran, but Los Alamos kind of got bunched up there in the second level and just could not get through to get Flores, and he goes 37 untouched.
Yeah, and there wasn't anything fancy about that play. It was just give it to the tailback and yeah, just give it to Beno, and I mean, yeah, just give it to that running back and just let him go over. So they going to go for the attempt, and the ball is down, the ball is up, and it is good. So with 3:15 remaining here in the first quarter, Taos strikes first as they've had the ball in almost the entire term of this quarter, and that is Hilltoppers ran 4 plays, 3 and out, and so it's been all Taos so far in this quarter. 9 minutes. They've had it probably 8.5 minutes, I would say. And so, anyway, that makes it now 7-0 in favor of the Taos Tigers. And so, and like I say, tonight's broadcast would be audio only. That's what we essentially do anyway. And then we hopefully are trying to hook up with with the high school TV, but that's been a disaster, and I apologize for that, but not my fault.
We have zero control over that, but that's not something you want to hear when you're trying to broadcast video. We hope it turns out.
Yeah, really.
That's just not a good way to run a restaurant there, Gene.
Or people come running up to our window in the booth and yelling at us. We're ready to go. And Taos will kick off. And a nice boot downfield. That's going to be taken right at the goal line, coming straight up the middle. He's got lots of running room. A nice run back. Wow. About a 35-yard run back. And, boy, he just took it right at the line of scrimmage. And that was Jeremiah Hertzall. And he just brought it straight. He just kind of straight up the middle. And boy, for a minute, I thought he was going to break it.
Yeah, it looked like he had some running room. The hole there kind of closed up a little bit for him, but nice run back. And I think we're going to have another timeout here by Los Alamos.
So Los Alamos takes their second timeout. You got to use those up as fast as you can. So
they have a expired by date, Gene. You don't want to hold on to those any longer than you absolutely have to.
Expire by minute.
Yeah, the Toppers were out of timeouts, I think, right by the end of the first quarter last
week, yeah.
And Santa Fe wasn't doing that much better. I think they took 2 in the first quarter.
Yeah, they did too. We had 5 timeouts in the first quarter last week.
I've never seen that before.
No. We got a pretty good crowd here tonight. It's a cold night. Cold night in March. But it's a pretty good crowd. We had a big crowd at the volleyball game last night. The Topper girls volleyball team won the district championship last night as they defeated Espanola and they had defeated Milwaukee the night before, so they are the district champion. And I understand there's going to be a tournament. I mean, trying to find out. The snap is going to come right back to Hagen, and they're going to try to run the option, and the pitch out is going to go. Well, it's going to go awry, and it's going to be picked up there by the Tigers, and so Cameron Haig coming around the left side, and then he tried to get it over, I think, to Tiki Nieto, but the pitch was not good, and so it just got away from Tiki, and so Taos falls on it, and
didn't see who made the recovery, but Taos in business once again, deep in Topper territory.
Yeah, they got the ball right now is just inside the 30-yard line. Dropping back, Damon Eli got a man open in the end zone, and incomplete.
Looked like he had it for a second. He just could not hold on when he went to the ground.
Yeah,
and I believe that was Polanco again.
No, it was Simon Torres, as it turns out.
Oh, I'm sorry, Simon Torres.
And Isaiah Herzl was the young man on the coverage.
Pretty good coverage, but a nice throw.
Yeah.
I thought for a second he was going to be able to pull it in, just could not keep it all the way down into the ground, and just kind of popped out. But nice throw there. I got to tell you, Gene, Taos likes to throw the long ball, and frankly, they're not very imaginative with their pass routes.
No, they aren't. No. So it comes back to the 28-yard line. It's going to be second down and 10. And now they're going to hand it over now to Bueno Flores coming around the left side. He spun away from one tackler. They had him at the line of scrimmage. I thought they were just going to just roar him down. Isaiah Herzl again on the tackle. But Bueno took that handoff and went right in the middle of the line, and there was nothing there except green jerseys. And then somehow he just made a little spin move backwards and then came around back to his left and then spun around and then headed around around left end and ends up picking up first down. I thought he was going to, he'd not lose yardage, but I thought he was not going to gain anything. And the ball right now is on the 13-yard line, and the 1st and 10 for the Tigers. And they're going to hand it off to the fullback and out of the eye. Boy, nothing fancy, Mike. And so they just hand it to Matthew Suazo. And Suazo, the fullback, takes it straight up the middle, and he picks up about 3 yards. That'll make it 2nd and 7. And the ball down at the 10-yard line. So they can still get a first down. They get it down to the 3. And so out of the I formation, Eli, he gave the signal for somebody to go in motion. Nobody moved. So it goes to Beno Flores around the right side, and then he is tripped up. And, boy, nice tackle that time. But that was Isaiah Herzl again. He's everywhere.
Yeah, he was on that tackle, and I think James Rodriguez got a piece of him as well. But that ball getting down to about the 12.
Let's see, it's about
excuse me, I'm sorry, it's the
8-yard line. So they need to get to about the 3, so it's a long 3rd down, a long 4 for the Tigers. And they're just going to give it to Beno again, and he's going to be and so Beno.
So he goes off the left guard. He goes down inside the 5. He's actually about the 2 before he's brought down. A little bit of hesitation there by Beno, which is this is not, this close to the goal line. You don't generally see that working out very well, but he is able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, and so it's going to be 1st and goal from from just inside the 3. So 1st and goal just inside the 3, and they're just going to run out of the I. They're going to give it to the fullback, and Matthew Suazo straight up the middle. Still waiting to see the signal from the official, which there is none. So that's going to make it second down and goal. Second and goal from the 1. So Matthew Suazo, not a real big kid, but 5'7", 150 pounds, but he's their fullback. And so just Damon Eli keeping it himself. Boy, a huge pile up at the goal line. A touchdown. Boy, huge pile up there. I mean, it looked like a major rugby scrum. And so anyway, Damon Eli takes it in. And essentially, Mike, that's the end of the quarter.
Yeah, they just got that snap off with under half a second left, and Eli just able to lean in there. He didn't make it in. He was less than a yard. He needed less than a yard, and he just barely got in, but good enough.
So Misael Hermosillo will kick out, make the point after attempt.
Nice kick.
Yes, very nice. And that makes it 14-0. So I hope Rudy told me you got to say Hermosillo, he said. No, Hermosillo, not Cito. Hermosillo. Got it.
Perfect.
Got it.
Perfect.
Okay, so, yeah, that's the end of the quarter. And right now the Hilltoppers find themselves down 14-0. And it's kind of a beautiful night here tonight, except it's cold.
Other than that, it's great. Not a whole lot of cloud coverage.
No, it's
not a whole lot of wind. It's actually real nice, except it's chilly.
Yeah, it's a pretty night, but it is cold. Well, that's what happens when you get toward the end of football season.
Right, just right around Thanksgiving, or in this case, April Fool's Day.
Yes.
That's what you get. It's just going to be a little nippy.
Yes, that happens. So, anyway, so they will kick off to the Hilltoppers. The Hilltoppers so far have had, I guess they've run, 5 plays, I guess.
They were 3 and out in the first possession, and then a fumble on the first play of the second possession, and that's been it.
Yeah, and other than that, we've been looking at the entire game at Damon Eli and Matthew Suazo and Beno Flores. So they'll switch ends of the field, and the Hilltoppers now will attack the west goal. Taos will attack the east goal, and Hermosillo is going to put the ball down, and he will kick it away as soon as he gets the signal from the official. And so the Hilltoppers are waiting back. Jose Salazar and James Rodriguez both standing inside the 10-yard line for Los Alamos. So Misael gets the signal and going to boot it down. Nice kick taken by Jose Salazar. Salazar straight up the middle, makes a nice cut, and he's going to make it up to about the 30. Well, they batted up the 32-yard line, and then he got smothered, and he just kept going. And he just carried about 4 Taos players with him from the 32 up to the 35.
Just kept his feet driving. Nice effort there by Jose, 5'11", 150-pound junior.
He's an awesome athlete.
They'll give him up to the 36, and that's where the Toppers will start their third drive of this ball game.
So it looks like the quarterback might be Jeremiah Herzl. They've been switching that quarterback position a lot. Yeah, he's in the middle of that formation. Next to him is Jose Salazar. And then James Rodriguez is going to come straight back. And it's going to come straight back to Herzl. And he's going to go right up the middle. And then he's going to be hit and dropped there for the Tigers. Coming in to make the stop that time was, I had him. Where'd he go? Okay. So anyway, we have, unfortunately, these rosters are really hard to get and hard to get the right order. High snap. Herzl pass over on the left flat, and that's completed. And Hilltoppers are going to move it up to about the about the 41, 42 yard line. So a nice pass just over to the flat. And so the ball over now on the left hash mark. And so, and that pass was complete to Ariel Ariel Chavez was the young man who brought him down. So they're going to, well, this time they just make a direct snap back, this time back to Tiki Nieto. And he goes straight up the middle, and he's going to pick up, well, enough to get him. He gets him up to the, well, let's see, what is that? About the 43-yard line, and they need to get to the 46. And so it'd be interesting to see here what
Topper's not in a hurry, whatever they're doing.
It'll be interesting to see here if they're going to go for it or not. They're not really in punt formation. Tiki Nieto is back. He's not the kicker. Carson Dixon is the kicker, and so the Hilltoppers take their final timeout. Well, I don't know what was going on out there, Mike, but they just stood out there, and nobody was really moving.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was just some indecision what they wanted to do, or if they wanted to take those precious 10 seconds off the clock. I just don't know.
Well, last week, Hilltoppers started things off with Luke Gonzalez at quarterback. He's a 5'8", 150-pound sophomore. He had a really, really good. We had a lot of trouble stopping Santa Fe, but when Los Alamos did have the ball, Luke did a good job of running at quarterback. But of course, his favorite play was quarterback draw, which he just kept running and running and running. But anyway, he did not come back for the second half, and he's not out there tonight either. So in the second half last week, they just kept kind of rotating quarterbacks, and it was like kind of like a pickup game.
A little bit, yes.
At the park. But they're going to go for it, it looks like. Or try a hard count at least. So the snap's going to come back. They're trying a hard count. They can't take a timeout, so if Taos doesn't come, they're going to be a 5-yard penalty. But they do snap it, and Hilltopper's going to pick up. He's going to be very, very close to the first down. Depends on the snap. On the spot. And that was Jeremiah Hertzall.
He's right at the sticks. I think they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, they're not even going to bother. So nice play that time. The Hilltoppers, obviously they're trying to draw him off at first. And, of course, they couldn't call a timeout, or they wouldn't do it anyway. You just take the 5-yard penalty and then punt.
Yeah, that's a technical foul if you try to call a timeout and you don't have one.
Yes, it is.
2 shots in the ball. You don't want to give that away.
So the Hilltoppers now, and Hertzall with a pass upfield, and that one falls incomplete.
Not sure who that was intended for. I can tell you who almost caught it. That was Angel Polanco. That ball actually hit him right in the chest. Just could not haul it in.
So that'll make it 2nd and 10. The ball right now is at the 46-yard line. Still in Hilltopper territory, and we're in the second quarter. It's 9:21 to go in the first half. 14-0 lead by the Tigers. And the snap's going to come back, a high snap, and Hertzall dropping back. And he's going to try to air it out. He was trying to get it upfield that time to Aiden Cooley, but Cooley was covered. Now, let me correct that. That was Carter Haig. So Carter Haig was the young man downfield. 6 foot, 180-pound junior. He's a wide receiver, but incomplete pass. So right now we're going to have 3rd down, and it's going to be 3rd and 10. The ball's still at the 46. And I don't know what you call that formation back there. I guess it's a shotgun, but it's a strange shotgun. And whoa. And Haig barely gets that ball away. I don't know how in the world. I don't know. I'm sorry, Jeremiah Hertzall. I mean, barely got that ball away, and the pass was complete to Jose Salazar. Salazar got it up to, and, well, he picks up about, well, almost 6 yards. So it's going to be 4 down and a long, very long 4 for Los Alamos. So they line up kind of in a shotgun, but then they just put 3 players. Now they're going to shift it down to, okay, now we're going to send out receivers. They're going to put Jose Salazar over in wide receiver, move him out of the backfield. Now they're going to run with a regular shotgun. Going to come back to Hertzall. He's going to air it out. He's got a beautiful pass down to, he drops it. My God, I don't believe that. That was right to Jose Salazar. He's one of our best receivers, right in his gut. But I thought they were going to call pass him. They grabbed Jose. Did you see him grab him?
They absolutely did. I thought for sure that was going to be DPI there, but they got away with it. But Jose had the ball. That's unusual to see him not be able to hang on to something like that.
Yeah, he makes fantastic catches, and then that to drop the ball like that. But when he was trying to make the turn, a couple of them, Taos players had grabbed a hold of him. I thought there might be a flag. But it'll go over on downs to the Tigers, and they're going to switch it back. Well, okay, I thought maybe they're going to try to do a sneaky beaky, but all they simply did was they gave it to Simon Torres, had lined up over on the left slot, and so he just kind of trotted around behind the quarterback, behind everybody, behind the shotgun, and then as he just kind of came around it, they just to Damon Eli just flipped it back to him. So nothing fancy, but he does pick up a first down. And the clock stopped at 8:14 while they moved the chains. And there we go. So over the right side, and that time in Beno Flores. Beno Flores once again making a stop for Los Alamos. That time was Zach Schwarzkopf over on that right sideline.
And they like to use Flores on the edges. He hasn't really done a whole lot of running between the tackles, but he's had some success off tackle. And that one going to the wide side of the field, and he picks up 9 yards.
2nd down and 1. They'll run out of the eye. And this would be a good time to pass it, actually. But they're going to say, nope, we're going to give it to Beno. And Flores to run him. He's a tailback in the I formation. He comes over the right side, and he's going to get it up to, well, let's see, almost to the 20-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. And that'll 30-yard line. So he's up to the 30, and it's going to be 1st and 10. And they don't waste any time calling the next play. Eli airs it out into the end zone. Overthrown. And the coverage back there for Los Alamos, Cameron Haig. That pass was intended downfield for Misael Hermosillo.
Pretty good coverage over there, one-on-one by Haig down the sideline. Really using the sideline very well to his advantage. And the receiver just didn't have any place to go or make any kind of move or anything. So really, really good coverage there.
Yeah, and that time what Art Abreu did was he already had that play out there. So they moved the chains, and as soon as they put it down, they snapped the ball. So they were trying to catch Los Alamos off guard, but okay, so now they'll run out of the pistol. And, geez. Damon Eli, man open in the end zone. Overthrows him again, and he's having a lot of problems that way. Simon Torres was the intended receiver, and the coverage for Los Alamos that time downfield was, I'm pretty sure that was Isaiah Hertzall.
And that was actually a really nice route by Torres. Actually had Hertzall kind of turned around a little bit, but Eli just too strong, and he was kind of throwing that off of his back foot too. So
Yeah.
obviously he definitely has the arm. They actually need to scale that back a little bit because he's overthrown most of the receivers that he's missed.
Yeah, and every long pass he's thrown essentially has been overthrown. So they'll line up, and this time out of the pistol again. Rolling to his right, Damon Eli trying to make the turn, and he's going to be caught for a big loss back at the 36. Tiki Nieto coming in and dropping him for a big, big loss, as he just had never had a chance to turn the corner. The pursuit by the Hilltoppers that time was just outstanding. He started over heading toward that left sideline, trying to make the turn, but boy, there was nothing but a humongous wall of green and just waiting for him. And they throw him all the way back to the, let's see, they actually started from the 30, and they throw a 6-yard loss on that play. And so that's going to bring up 4th down, and it'll be 4th and 16, and from the 36-yard line. So Artebreo takes the timeout and wants to talk things over. Hilltoppers have used all their timeouts, so they're in good shape. And 6:32 to go here in the first half.
They've got that 2-minute offense so ironed down, Gene, that they
yes.
don't even need the timeouts.
No, they don't. In fact, I think he's expanded it to a 5-minute offense. So,
Taos coming back on the field here. 4th down and 16, and they look like they're set up to go for it.
yeah, they're going to go. Damon dropping back. And so there's the flag.
Whistle. That might be on Taos. I think there was some movement up front.
And let's see what this is going to be. And the official dead ball foul, a false start. So that's another 5. So that makes it 4th and 21. Artebreo, he's going to go for it again. He has nothing to lose, really.
Yep, the Tigers have to go to the 20-yard line. They're now sitting at the topper 41-yard line.
Yes.
So he has that 21-yard play in his back pocket. Let's see what he wants, if he wants to pull it out right now.
Yeah, he probably will. Out of the pistol. Okay, and now they're going to shift Matthew Suazo over from one side to the other. Eli dropping back. Great catch. Wow. What a throw and what a catch upfield. And pulling that one in is Maceo Hermosillo. Boy, beautiful throw. I mean, just on a rope all the way down to about the 5-yard line. And Hermosillo high in the air to pull it down. Boy, that was one beautiful play.
Wow. And Tiki Nieto right just drilled Eli right as he let it go. But Hermosillo running kind of in the middle of the field was able just to get a step on his defender and pull it in, and then was able to squirt into the end zone. Fine catch. I don't know how. I didn't think Eli was even going to get that throw off.
I didn't either. He was under a lot of pressure, and then I guess he got hit. Cause anyway, there was a penalty flag called against Los Alamos, of course, which was declined by the Tigers. Now the Tigers are going to go for 2. Eli rolling to his right, still rolling. Now he's going to make that pass into the end zone, wide open. Hermosillo.
And he's having himself a nice night.
Yes, he is. And so that makes it now 22-0. 6:18 to go here in the second quarter. And this ballgame being brought to you by the Los Alamos Daily Post and Carol Clark. I want to thank Carol and the Daily Post for making all this possible. This is Gene Mortensen along with Mike Mays. And nice to be back behind the microphone, Mike.
Yeah, it really is. A little bit out of commission for a little while for several reasons, but it is great to be back and being able to watch some football. And like I was saying, just getting a little taste of normalcy. That's nice.
Well, the last broadcast I did was for KRSN was almost exactly a year ago in March, and a basketball game. That's the last broadcast we did, and that's the last broadcast actually done on KRSN. And unfortunately, KRSN had to shutter the place, and that was a shame. And so, but Carol Clark now has made it possible. Like Nate Limback, we really have to thank him. He's the IT guy, and he and John McHale got together with Carol Clark, and she approved everything. And so there's a kick by the Tigers coming straight up the middle. Whoa! The ball goes flying out again.
I think that was Jeremiah Hodgsell running it back, but he was just tattooed right at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he was. I think that was number 58, I do believe. And I don't know if we have a 58.
Well, that's a good question.
Well, but boy, like you say, he was running, and then you talk about the old brick wall situation.
But the Toppers do get the ball back at the 32.
Well, they come all the way over to the sideline.
I'm not sure why.
I don't either, and they better get this play off, or
they don't have a ton of time to get this off. So I'm not
going to be a delay of game if they don't get going. Let's see, where's the back judge usually counts it off, but there he goes. What is that? 5 seconds, I do believe.
Just got it off.
Close to Jose Salazar trying to make the turn around the left side. He does make the turn, and he's going to get it, well, essentially back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, you can watch the back judge as he stands back there. He's the one with the play clock. And then when it gets down, I believe it is to 5 seconds, I do believe. Then he raises his arm, and then he starts swinging his arm up and down with each second. So Hilltoppers had about 2 seconds to get that one off. So it's
wow, they're going to say Salazar went out of bounds.
Whoa.
About almost a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, he got it back to the line of scrimmage, but and boy, it's just we got illegal motion everywhere by Los Alamos. Everybody. The center, of course, never makes a mistake like that. So
no, I've never seen that before.
I've never seen a center make on a false start or anything. You were a center, weren't you?
I don't see what that has to do with anything, Gene.
So that's going to cost them 5. So it's going to be 2nd and 18, I do believe, at this point. Well, let's see. It's further than that, I guess.
That was not 5 yards they marked off. That was closer to 7.
Yeah, and and it should have been just a simple 5-yard penalty, but they whacked it on. But the Hilltoppers are going to go nowhere on 2nd down.
I think that was a keeper by Hartzell trying the left side and might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
I think that's about where he got. He's the ball right now is on the 26-yard line, 24-yard line. It's 3rd and about 20, I guess. We're going to pass over onto the flat. That's going to be overthrown, trying to get it to Hertzell, trying to get it to Jacob, Jose Salazar. And so that's going to bring up 4th down. And I do believe it's 4th, or is it still 3rd? With all those penalties and everything.
I think it's 4th down.
Yeah, it's 4th down. And so.
And we have another flag on the field right now.
Well, let's see.
Did it just fall out of somebody's pocket? Well, I guess it just fell out of someone's pocket.
I guess so. Carson Dixon now standing back inside the 15-yard line, and he will boot it away. He had a lot of trouble last week. Santa Fe really putting a lot of pressure on him last week. So let's see what Taos decides to do. They're not going to put any pressure on him at all, and it's going to have a kind of a low line drive, and that's going to take a end over end on the field. So you got a nice little worm burner and that's going to go all the way down to the almost 25-yard line. So that's the nice thing about this artificial turf. You get one going like that, and it'll keep going.
Yeah, it'll skip around for a while, and yeah, he got at least 20 yards on the ground there. The problem is if you hit it wrong and it starts rolling the opposite way you want it to go, it can do the exact same thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, if it takes a backward bounce, then you got that problem. So anyway, so the Tigers have it. It's 1st and 10. And rolling to his right, Damon Eli. Pass is intended up field this time, but incomplete to Angel Polanco. He just can't seem to hook up with Angel.
And Angel was open, too.
Yeah, it's wide open. So the ball is at the 26-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Eli, by the way, has misfired on 5 of his last 6. The one he did complete was the 41-yard touchdown.
Beautiful pass, beautiful catch. Wow.
That was the toughest throw he had out of that streak.
So they'll run this time now. And so they line up in the I formation and just a simple handoff. This is going to go over right guard as they give it to Beno Flores. And Flores runs into James Rodriguez. And so Rodriguez brings him down. And no gain on the play. So that's going to make it 3rd. And maybe a half a yard pickup. 3rd and a long 9. Short 10. Very long 9, I might say. So out of the I formation again, a pitch out's going to go over to the side. They're running a reverse, coming around the right. They went to the left, they're coming back around to the right, and then trying to make the turnaround. But boy, right there is Isaiah Herzl as Hermosillo got the hand up. They just started it off with a simple sweep to the left, and then the pitch out came back on the other side. So they flipped the reverse and over Hermosillo. And Hermosillo is, he got it upfield, and let's see, I guess he picked up the first down, but boy, a nice tackle that time by Isaiah Herzl. 2:50 and the clock moving here in the first half. Now the pistol. And inside handoff to the fullback, Matthew Suazo. Suazo over right guard. And coming off the bottom of the pack for Los Alamos that time, I mean, that thing was amazing, was Liam Cook. He got in there, and boy, he got him down below the knees. And wow. So now we come down to 2:10 to go in the first half.
Suazo able to push the pile, though, and actually ended up getting 5 yards when it looked like he was getting about 1.
Yes. He's not very big. So the pistol, and so, well, they're going to run a little option out of the pistol this time as Damon Eli rolls over to his right, and then he's going to go ahead and pitch it out to Beno Flores, and then Flores coming around the right side. Isaiah Herzl on the stop. My God, how many tackles has he made tonight?
He's got to be getting close to a dozen already.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. And that's going to make it, well, let's see. The clock has stopped. Not sure why.
Did he pick up a first down?
Yeah, I guess he did, but they still have the clock stopped, so he must have gone out of bounds, but he did pick up the first down. It's 1st and 10. And Eli dropping back, and he decides to tuck it under himself, and coming down the left sideline, and he's belted out of bounds, and then we have a little taunting this time by Jeremiah Herzl, and that's not exactly what you want to do. Eli just trying to tiptoe down the left sideline, and then Jeremiah came over and banged him down pretty good, and then he stood there jawing at him. I'm surprised he didn't throw the flag.
They don't like you doing that, but 23-yard pickup there for Eli, and with minute 35 remaining, Taos still with enough time to take a couple shots in the end zone.
Yeah, they do, and so it's 1st and 10. The ball on the 26-yard line, and Eli out of the pistol. He's going to drop back again. All kinds of protection. Got a man open, and boy, great. And that was Simon Torres, and but great coverage back there once again. I think that once again was that was Isaiah Hertzall again. He's amazing, 5'5", 135-pound junior. He's been everywhere. Well, let's see. Oh, did they complete that?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't think they did.
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
So touchdown for 25-yard score there.
Oh, okay.
Eli to Simon Torres. Nice throw there. Actually, Simon had to wait on that one, but it fell into his lap.
So there's the kick by Maceo Hermosillo. Yeah, I mean, he threw it past it down into the end zone, and then Isaiah was right there, and then I thought Isaiah got a hand on it, and we have a little trouble sometimes seeing when we get down to the end zone. The new press box they have screens, so we're looking through screens and then all the other reflectors around here, and so. And the old press box, we just to take the windows out.
That was easy enough. Just take them out, and clear as day.
Yeah,
it's like there was nothing there.
So, all right, Mike, I missed that one.
Yep, 25-yard strike, Eli to Simon Torres. Nice throw there by Eli. Eli has not thrown particularly well, except in the end zone, which, unfortunately for the Toppers, he's been on point thrown into the end zone.
So, Misael Hermosillo will kick off.
Good-looking kicker, by the way. Very good.
Yes. And he boots it down. It's going to come down to the 10-yard line, taken at the 10 and bringing it up for Los Alamos for the Hilltoppers at the 10-yard line, and that was Jeremiah Hertzall.
We have a flag on the play, though, and that came from way far back.
Yeah, we might have a hold to see what the...
That's usually not good for the return team.
No. And it's not good for return team because they're already marching it off. Holding. So holding on the return. And so that's going to make it 47 seconds to go here in a half. And
well, the Toppers with all their timeouts. Oh, I'm sorry. They have none of their timeouts.
No, they're in good shape. That's one thing they don't have to worry about.
That is not one thing they have to worry about. They just have to work the sidelines. They really are not going to be able to throw it down the middle of the field.
Yeah, the assistant coach is in charge of timeouts, and he can just relax for the rest of the half. 47 seconds to go here in the first half. Hilltoppers down 29-0 to the Taos Tigers. And so the Hilltoppers ready to go. And now they're going to shift over. And
I'm not sure what they're going to call it
delay.
Wow. That's actually been coming for a while, Gene.
And we have a number 10 who's the mystery player. We'll find out who that is at halftime. This is the first time he's been in the game, and he's not on our roster. So he's out of that shotgun. He's going to air it out. And he's trying to. Oh, there should be a penalty. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's Jake Sorensen. Good job, Mike.
I'm all over it.
Well, I mean, there should have been, pass interference big time, and there's the flag. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty. And new rule, Mike, that came into play last year or the year before, actually, when they actually did play football. And so now they're going to call it defensive holding, and so that's a 5-yard penalty, and that should be an automatic first down. But they changed the rule, interestingly enough, on I don't know what they're doing.
They're going to mark it off, but the Toppers are exactly 5 yards from the sticks right now. So they're going to give them a 7-yard penalty, Gene.
8 yards.
So 8-yard penalty.
The old standard 8-yard penalty.
That's the way it is.
Yeah. So anyway,
Actually no, that's a much bigger penalty. That's about a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a 10.
For defensive holding, I guess that must be what they give them.
I guess so. And so now the handball is going to go to Jose Salazar coming around the left side, tries to turn. It's on 1st and 5 for Los Alamos. And Jose, I'm not sure if he made it out of bounds. The clock has stopped at 30 seconds, so I guess he did.
He's right at the sticks. Yeah, I think he did get it.
No, yes, he did. So we're not sure if he made it out of bounds. It does stop the clock while they move the sticks. So we'll see if they start the clock up. And doesn't appear that they are going to. So the Hilltoppers now they start the clock.
So he did not make it out of bounds?
No, he didn't. And so Jake Sorensen with the throw almost picked off. And I mean, right there for the Tigers, and almost picked that one off. But anyway, incomplete pass stops the clock at 19.8 seconds to go. And the Hilltoppers trailing 29-0 here in this first half. Well, what I was talking about was that they changed the rule. 2 seasons. The last season we played real football. It's a 15-yard penalty for pass interference, but it's not an automatic first down. Well, they try to.
Ball's on the ground.
Yes, it was,
and Taos has it.
Well, Jake Sorensen was trying to stick it in the gut that time, and I think he was trying to stick it in the gut of Isaiah Herzall, and they were kind of running almost side by side, and the ball just kind of stuck in there, and I don't know what happened. Finally, when he tried to pull out, he dropped it. So Jake tried to get back to it. Jake tried to fall on it, but so here, Mike, this is an interesting situation. If Taos scores, that'll make it 35, and we'll start the second half with a running clock. This is the same situation we were in against Santa Fe last week. They scored, made it 34-0, went for 2, and didn't make it, so the second half didn't start with a running clock.
And they go into the victory formation. So Taos not wanting to – they had, if they wanted to throw, they had – probably enough time for 2 shots in the end zone, and at the 22-yard line, they elect to take a knee.
Yeah, the victory formation. So, I guess they didn't want to start. They didn't want to have a running clock either. I guess they're having fun. So anyway, all right, Mike. This is Gene Mortensen for Mike Katko. Mike Mays. And so we got a 15-minute break now. So with the new field house, the players now can just go into the field house, and both teams, they have a visitors locker room and a home team locker room. It used to be the teams would either just kind of meet in the end zone if they wanted, or you could walk over the bridge, the metal bridge during lightning storms.
That was always an option for you as well. So.
Yes, it was. But
you could do that, and we had our garden variety 25-minute half times.
Yes,
those were always a lot of fun.
Well, it's 20 minutes, and then the teams would come back and they tack on a number 3. So our intermissions used to be, before they got this field house, used to be 23 minutes, and boy, that's a killer. Anyway, so right now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break, and then we will come back, and Mike has a bunch of stats that he will reel off for us. So this is Gene Mortensen with Mike. Mike, gotta keep doing that. Gene Mortensen with Mike Mays, and here in this broadcast brought to you by the Los Alamos Daily Post and Carol Clark. And so thank you, Carol, for making all this possible. And the Los Alamos Daily Post, a highly successful online newspaper here in Los Alamos, and every Thursday we get a printed copy. So it's awesome. So we'll be back. So it is senior night here at Sullivan Field. So right now since the break started, they have been introducing all the seniors and the senior players and their parents. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 seniors out there for Los Alamos, and not sure if we see if we can figure out who they are. Let's see. Yeah, Antonio Vigil, a 5 foot, 535 pound. He is a senior and also playing his last game, home game here is James Rodriguez, 5'9", 180 pound senior. Chris Garcia, 5'10", 175 pound, and Nate Johnson, he's 6'4", 245 pounds, and then Xavier Pacheco, 6 foot 205 senior, and then Luke Rainey, a 5'8", 130 pound senior. And so those are the young gentlemen who playing their last home game here on Sullivan Field, on the sacred Sullivan Field.
Well, it's good that the seniors are able to at least get something of a send-off. Obviously, not the time of year they would usually be accustomed to that, but and I can't believe it. We're just a few days out of April, so these gentlemen will be graduating in just a couple of months. Yes. That is frankly amazing, and congratulations to those young men coming through the top ranks.
And the thing about it is that, it's nice that they were able to get recognized, because with however fouled up all this sports season has been, and, it's the kids have missed out on a lot, and they've had to shorten seasons, and so it's nice that they had a really nice senior night last night for the volleyball team, and so it'll be. And also, by the way, Mike, next week we're gonna fire up basketball. The boys have a game at home on Wednesday. The girls have a game at home on Saturday. I think the boys are on the road on Saturday, but John McHale we were talking with John, and he pulled out his magic phone, which has all these camera dates these calendar dates on there and everything. And okay, well, we've got a game here on Tuesday and a game here on Thursday and a game here on Saturday. So it looks like next week basketball fires up. It's going to be pretty busy, and then it looks like we're going to have a state tournament in volleyball. And last night when we did the game, we were told this is the final game, period. And so we kept it out. Well, this is it. And I even said, this is a shame that they don't have a tournament. And then we go down and talk to Joe Palmer after the game, and we said, okay, Joe, well, a good season, all that. Well, not over. We got a tournament next week. Oh my God. I mean, talk about the misinformation age.
It's just difficult, and there are just so many things going on. Everything is slammed together and just so many moving parts. Hard to keep track of who's doing what. It wasn't until, in fact, yesterday that I'd even heard basketball was starting. Yeah, I had no idea it was coming up that quickly, but it will, in fact, get going here pretty soon, and that's going to run, I believe, through the end of May, if I'm not mistaken, the regular season.
They have a number of games that set up, and you're right, too. Yesterday was the first I heard of it when I went over to Ruby Case for my breakfast jack and cheese, and Eric, who's on the basketball team that works there, he told me that, well, we got a game next week. And then when we came over here last night, when we went to the volleyball game, we were informed of the volleyball game about the basketball game, but we already knew it. Anyway, Mike, why don't you reel off some of those hot stats you got?
Absolutely. We got about 2:40 until the teams return from the field house. I really missed them going across the bridge. That was just such a sight to see. But just time marches on, Gene.
Yes, it does.
So that first half, all Taos. The Tigers scored 14 points in that first quarter and tacked on 15 points in that second quarter, scoring at the 3:15 mark of the first quarter. That was um, Beno Flores. He scored. He went 37 yards from the right side for a touchdown. That put the Taos Tigers on the board, 7-0. Then, right as the clock struck zero in the first quarter, Damian Eli dives in from a yard out. That put Taos up 14-0, and a couple of touchdowns in the second quarter. One coming at the 6:18 mark. Nice throw from Eli. And that one was 41 yards, and then he struck gold again, Eli did, hitting Simon Torres from 25 yards out, and that's where we are right now. So all Taos in that first half, they put up 276 yards of total offense. Nice offensive performance. And as we were saying, Eli having a little trouble hooking up with his receivers, but was able to find them in the end zone for 2 touchdowns. One for 41 yards, the other for 25 yards. And then for on the ground, big 37-yard touchdown by Mr. Flores. And for the Toppers, not quite as successful on offense, Gene, unfortunately, in the red in that first half.
That's
Toppers end up with a minus 8 yards of total offense. A couple of those were due to a couple of big losses on fumbles, and Taos was able to scoop those up, and the Toppers ended up with negative 14 yards rushing. So that rough first half there on the ground for Los Alamos. We did remember though, in the second half last week, Toppers were able to put it together a little bit, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, they really did.
Santa Fe pretty well controlled that first half, but the Toppers really stepped up on the defensive side in the second half, just allowing the one touchdown, and early in the third quarter, if I remember, Gene, and.
Yeah, it was 34-0, and actually didn't come till later because we had to wait quite a while for the running clock to start, because when they scored that touchdown, they went to 40, and then and then that's when the running clock kicked in. But yeah, I mean they had 34 points. They didn't convert that 2-point conversion, and then. The second half, they didn't have any trouble at all scoring those 34 points. In the second half, though, they scored the one touchdown, and that was it. They actually did score 2 touchdowns. They had the ball on the 2-yard line, and then Los Alamos they decided to kick a field goal, and so they put it down. They ran a fake field goal for the touchdown, but then they had a dead ball call against Los Alamos for encroachment. So they penalized them from the 2 to the 1, and they set up for the field goal again, and tried to run the fake field goal again.
Exact same play, and it did not work out so well.
I mean, they didn't do anything different.
No, exact same play. It was exactly the way they drew it up the first time, and just nothing happened for them. So the Topper defense really came through in that second half last week, which was good to see. Big second half performance by James Rodriguez, as we were saying, had the honor of bringing the sledgehammer out, the Topper hammer, and so see what the Toppers can do here in the second half. But a big deficit, and Taos been able to run the ball, have really worked the edges very well. Running the ball, especially with Beno Flores, and a couple of nice long runs, and he is up around, my math is correct here, he is close to 80 yards in that first half.
Yeah, he had a pretty good first half. Yeah, he's a running back, and they use him as a tailback in the eye, and then they set him up, was over one of the like a wing back or slot back and on the pistol. And then Matthew Suazo was their fullback. And he's not a very big kid, but Matthew had a pretty good night tonight also. But, well, the clock is winding down. I think we already had the 3-minute adjustment. So they take like a 15-minute intermission, and then teams go wherever they're going to go and into the field house here, and then they come out onto the field, and once they hit the field, they get a 3-minute warm-up, and that 3-minute warm-up is done.
So we will get it going here shortly, and I'm sorry, Gene, I actually shortchanged Mr. Flores there. I missed a couple of his runs right at the century mark in that first half.
Oh, yeah.
So 100 yards for Beno Flores, and just he's been able to run pretty much wherever he wanted to. He started working the edges. Toward the middle of the second quarter, he actually started working a little bit between the tackles a little more, and he had some success there as well.
Yeah, and they just put 4 minutes on the clock.
I have no idea why. Why did they do that?
Who knows? It's supposed to be 3 minutes. They put 4 minutes on. Taos has been out here ever since it hit 15 minutes, and they warm it up, and then when it got down to when the 3 minutes counted down, then they all started warming. They went into a different warm-up formation. Now they're all heading back to the bench. And the Hilltoppers have been gathered around Garrett Williams the entire time. So anyway, next week we'll be on the air somehow, and Carol Clark and the Los Alamos Daily Post making all this possible. But we do know, we think we're going to have a volleyball game on Monday night. I know there's been a soccer game postponed until Monday, but we had that volleyball game would be a tournament game. We would cover that. And then Wednesday, we know there's basketball. Hilltopper boys are going to play Valencia, and game starting time should be 7 o'clock. Of course, that's approximately. And let's see, the Hilltoppers are going to receive to start things off. And so they will defend the east goal and attack the west goal. So, and back for Los Alamos, we have Jeremiah Herzl along with Jose Salazar.
And they will receive the kick from Misael Hermosillo.
Oh, boy, good job.
And very, very impressive kicker
yes,
for Taos. Got a nice leg. Has been straight as an arrow with his extra point attempts. So it's solid kicker.
Yeah. Boy, and there's a line drive, comes right to Jose Salazar. Salazar coming straight up the middle. He took it at the 5-yard line, and he gets up to the 30-yard line. And boy, when he gets to the 30-yard line, I mean, he just flat runs into a lot of traffic, and so he ends up. And so what happened to my roster? Oh, that roster. Anyway.
We've only got 4 of them for Taos, Gene. I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah. Anyway, the hard stop that time on Jose, that was Max Middleforth.
Boy, and we've seen the topper kick returners. They've taken a couple of whacks.
Yeah, they really have. They come running up, and there's nobody there, and once they get into traffic, they just run into somebody who's a brick wall. So they're going to hand it off. They're going to throw it out, and this one is, did he catch it? Nope, he did not. So what they did was they lined up. I'm not sure what you call that formation, Mike, but anyway, it's like a shotgun, but they put 3 backs back. The quarterback is in the middle, and then he has 2 backs just standing right next to him. Looks just like a T formation, except that they don't have a quarterback under center. But but that time they snapped it back and to Tiki Nieto, and then he turned around and flipped it back to Jose Salazar, and then Salazar was under all kinds of pressure, and then he aired it out, but he did get a good pass off, and I think we had some miscommunication in the backfield that time because the snap went back, and then nobody seemed to know which direction they were supposed to go, so Jeremiah just tried to tuck it under and go, and he loses a couple of yards. Warren Gomez made the stop for the Taos Tigers.
The Taos Tigers.
The Taos Tigers. That's the way you have to pronounce it. We were informed. So anyway, so 3rd down and 12 for the Hilltoppers, and they're going to throw. Jeremiah Herzl, boy, wow, what an arm, and that is going to be intercepted, I do believe. No, he didn't.
He didn't catch it?
No, rolled away from him. Or did he? Or maybe
no,
he did.
I think he did pull it in.
I thought he did, and then the ball, he must have after he, I thought he pulled that in. That was Simon Torres, and then it looked like he caught it, and he went down to the ground, and he got up, and then the ball was rolling away. But I guess after he caught it, and he just got up and just kind of let the ball go. But that's interesting, Mike, too, because they get the ball back. It's like, but this is actually better than a punt for Los Alamos because they had 3rd and they were going to have 4th down, and they're going to have to kick it away. So this is ended up with a good punt anyway. Eli is going to give it to his fullback, Matthew Suazo. Suazo straight up the middle. Nice tackle that time for the Hilltoppers, and coming in to make the stop was Jeremiah Herzl, and along with him was Zach Schwarzkopf.
Boy, Jeremiah and Isaiah Herzl have been all over the field tonight.
They really have. It's amazing. Isaiah is a junior, and they're both juniors. Wonder if they're twins. So, okay, I formation for the Taos Tigers. And just a hand off to the fullback. We have a new fullback, I do believe.
I think so, yes.
Yes, we do. Yeah, and that bigger kid this time.
Yes, I think that was Jerome Martinez, I believe.
Yeah.
The new fullback for the Taos Tigers.
For the Taos Tigers. And because Matthew Suazo, he wasn't very big, but boy, the new fullback, Jerome Martinez, he looks like a fullback. And anyway, he ends up picking up the 1st down as he moves the ball up to the 47-yard line. And now they'll go. The snap hits someone's leg, and so Damon Eli just picks it up and hands it to Matthew Suazo, who heads around the right end, and I think he's going to pick up a 1st down, Mike.
He absolutely is.
And I think when they snapped the ball, I think it may have hit the center's leg or hit somebody's leg.
And it wasn't the center's leg. We know that.
Oh, that's right. Couldn't be the center. You were a center, weren't you? And so they. Anyway,
I don't know whose fault it was, Gene, but I know whose fault it wasn't.
That's exactly right. But Damon just it was just rolling on the ground, and Damon just picked it up and handed it over to Suazo, kind of like, here, go run with it. So he gets the 1st down, big gain, now straight up the middle again, and this is going to go to Suazo again. And so Suazo coming straight through the middle, and waiting for him there for the Hilltoppers was Nate Johnson.
Now, Suazo, the workhorse here on this first drive for the Tigers.
So the ball now at the, they're sitting right now at the 33-yard line. Going to be 2nd down and 5 for the Tigers. Okay, and so they're going to run. It's kind of a long pistol, I must say, anyway. Damon Eli looking down. He's got a man open, but broken up by Jose Salazar, and but boy, that was a nice pass, and that was intended for for Torres, and Simon Torres, but good coverage for Los Alamos by Jose Salazar.
Yeah, nice, good play there by Salazar. Actually, and Eli, we have not seen him with a ton of finesse on any of his passes, but he actually floated that one a little bit, and but Jose there to break it up.
So now it's third down and about 5, long 5. And under center goes Eli in the I formation. He's going to put Simon Torres in motion. He's going to flip it over now to his fullback, who lined up in the tailback position on the I formation. Usually it's the quarterback, then the fullback, then the tailback. But Matthew Suazo went back to the tailback position, and so he picks up about 4, maybe a little over 4 yards. So now that's going to bring up fourth down and a very short one. So let's see what they can keep this drive alive. So Damon under center, and he's just going to give it to Suazo. Easy first down. Wow. And Suazo comes flying through and coming in to make the stop for Los Alamos. That time was, and that was Alicio Valdez, and helping him out was Seth Yost.
And no problem there. Huge push on the right side of the Taos line of scrimmage, and no problem there for Suazo.
No, none at all. I thought they might try a sneak, but they decided not to. And Damon Eli under center, and now he's going to roll to his right, looking downfield. A little short pass, just about a 7 or 8 yard pass down the right sideline. And that was pulled in by Simon Torres. And then he was run out of bounds, I believe. And so that's going to bring the ball up to the 17-yard line. Is that the 17? Yes, it is. Uh-oh.
Whoa,
what was that?
That was some sort of, if this was halftime, I would have thought that was a cannon. I have no idea what that was.
Wow. I'm telling you. I didn't think the lab was firing at night.
Not generally, no.
So second down and about 4 for the Hilltoppers. And there's a boy, a misdirection, boy, a counter play. Boy, was that run nicely. And they get the touchdown by Simon Torres. So, I'm sorry, Angel Polanco.
Well, they had to get him involved in the game somehow, I guess. He keeps they keep overthrowing him, but wow, pulling out the counter tray, back old school football, Gene. I haven't seen one of those in a couple of years, I don't think.
Boy, and that was run nicely. I mean, really nicely. So he just got everything. They tried to make everything go to their left, and Angel just kind of hung back a little next to the quarterback, and so he just an inside handoff stuck in his gut, and so Aramacio with the extra point, and makes it now 36-0 with 5:58 remaining here in this third quarter, but 36-point lead for the Taos Tigers, and so that means that after they kick off and once the Hilltoppers get the ball on the other end, we'll be in a running clock, and it'll stop on injuries, timeouts, and things like that, but incomplete passes, run out of bounds, that kind of stuff does not stop the clock.
Well, the Toppers do have 3 timeouts, Gene, so they will be able to use those if they need them.
Yeah. Well, let's hope they take full advantage of those. So Hermosillo ready to kick off. And this one's going to be taken this time by Jeremiah Hertzall. And Hertzall is going to make it across the 25-yard line, and then he's going to be hit hard and brought down. And the young man coming in to make the stop for the Tigers, and that was none other than
the one and only.
And he's been a marvel out there all night. And so, 1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers. And a clock on the move. Dropping back. Hertzall airing it down. Intercepted. And now coming around the left side. And down the left sideline, still going. Hurdles one Hilltopper, and he's down almost to the 5-yard line. And that was picked up there by Simon Torres. So Simon Torres picks it off, and he got it about the 40-yard line, and then he just took off and made a nice run. He was kind of weaving his way through the traffic, and then when he got down to about the 10, he well, let's see, what are they calling here?
Yeah, I think was there a penalty?
Well, the ball is right now inside the 15-yard line.
And they're going to call a block in the back on Los Alamos.
Yeah, half the distance to the goal. Wow.
Oh, boy. So that's going to take it from the 15 to about the 7.5.
Yes.
So.
Well, Simon came around and did a good job on the run back, and they almost had him about it looked like, I don't know how he must have stepped out of bounds or something, because he got down to the 5-yard line, but hurdled one of the Hilltopper tacklers.
Yeah, that was a nifty move.
So now they're 1st and goal from about the 7, and they're going to give it to Suazo. And Suazo is going to be hit hard by Jeremiah Hertzall, and along with also in on that tackle for Los Alamos that time was James Rodriguez, and teaming up also with them was Seth Yost. So he had some good running room, and then all of a sudden, well, those 3 guys, they just closed it up. I thought he was going to go.
It looked like Suazo had a shot to get in. It didn't look like there was much around him, and then those 3 gentlemen just swallowed him whole.
Yeah, they really did. So that's good. He got up to about the 5. So that's going to be 2nd and goal from the 5. So Damon under center. And he's going to give it this time to his new fullback. And I think, is he going to make it in as a big push?
He is right at the goal line, and they're going to give it to him.
Yeah. Well, he got hit between the 1 and the 2. And he got hit. Some good stoppage by Los Alamos. But then, then there was just a big push. And pushed him into the end zone, and that was Jerome Martinez. So who's come in to play fullback here this afternoon.
And like you said, Gene, he looks like a fullback. You look at that guy. That guy's a fullback.
Yes, he is.
Suazo's a little on the light side for fullback. Martinez does not have that problem.
No, he doesn't at all. So anyway, it's well, they have stopped the clock, which they do after touchdowns. But it depends on the official, and
some of them will stop them, some of them won't. And actually, I think it depends a little bit on how much time is left in the quarter as well.
Yeah, so Hermosillo, and this one he's going to go wide right.
Off the side of his foot. That's the first missed kick of the evening for Mr. Hermosillo. But, yeah, it looks like he maybe stepped wrong or planted wrong or something. Something went sideways on that. So
immediately. no chance whatsoever. So that makes it 42-0. 2:40 to go in the third quarter. The clock is stopped at the moment. But we don't have anything tomorrow. We had a pretty busy week. And, in fact, we were supposed to do a soccer game this afternoon, which got canceled or postponed or something. But anyway, it's been a pretty busy week. We've done a couple of volleyball games and soccer games. And then next week, basketball is going to fire up. And I guess there's going to be a lot of basketball. So looks like we're going to be pretty busy.
Yeah, they're going to squeeze about a 3.5-month season and a little less than 2 months. So
yeah, well, they're planning on having baseball and softball too, aren't they? They're supposed to go to that's supposed to go into June.
Those will go into June. So a lot happening.
So Hermosillo ready to boot it again. This is a line drive, and that's going to go all the way down to it gets by the Hilltopper receiver, and that was Jeremiah Herzl. It was a line drive, and then he tried to make a worm burner catch right at the 10-yard line, and he was trying to catch it just at the same time he was hitting the ground, so trying to throw your glove down there and scoop the ball up when it's about. So anyway, got through him, and it went
all the way down to the 1.
Well, down to the 1, but they moved it back up to the 10 for some reason. That's where the ball came down originally. And it's almost like they're saying, well, since that's where he touched it, maybe they're saying.
I think he was able to scoop it up and get a couple of yards off the scoop.
Yeah.
So they are at the 10-yard line, and Toppers take a timeout here with the 1:41 remaining in the third quarter, down 42-0 to the Gene. Who are they playing?
Yeah, the Taos Tigers.
The Taos Tigers.
Yes.
And Taos, as we mentioned earlier, is really they went into the doldrums there for several years.
Yes,
but
Art
Abreu has taken over the program. He is having them play exceptional ball. Back to, and we remember Taos was a formidable foe back in the day, and he's got them right back there again.
Yeah, and they had they used to run a single wing.
Oh boy, that drove me nuts.
They were pretty good at it too. So direct snap, which is going to go back. I think this is to Jeremiah. Yes, it is. And Jeremiah trying to come over the right over right end. And he's going to make it back to essentially the line of scrimmage. And so that's going to bring up now 2nd down and 10 for Los Alamos.
And Gene, a lot of younger people, actually a lot of people not much younger than me have never seen the single wing, or maybe you've even heard about it.
No, I know it. It used to be real big back in like the 40s and 50s, and it's a fun offense to watch. And but Taos ran it for years and were very successful. Santa Rosa has run it forever, and they've been extremely successful with it.
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, I remember you were sharing a Sports Illustrated article with me once. Taos and Santa Rosa played. It was the last time 2 single wing offenses had ever played. Final score of that game, Gene? 2-0.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was in Sports Illustrated. So the Hilltoppers are going to snap it back to Herzl. He starts to cut to his right, makes a nice cut back to his left, and he's still going. So he started to his right, and then I guess saw some traffic there, and he made a great cut back to his left. And he's able to pick up probably, about 8 yards.
Wow. Nice pickup.
But that's going to be 4th down, and the quarter comes to an end. So after 3 quarters of play here at Sullivan Field, it's the Taos Tigers 42 and the Hilltoppers 0.
Hilltoppers.
Yes. So, anyway.
So we will walk slowly down to the other end of the field now. So 12 minutes remain. We are in a running clock. That is the first phase of the two-phase Mercy Rule here in New Mexico. They will play with a running clock. They'll only stop occasionally for timeouts and things of that nature. So this is going to be pretty close to a 12-minute quarter.
Yeah, so it's going to be well, Alamos missed that extra point. We made it 43, which meant if Taos scored again, then and converted an extra point, they'd have 50, and that would be the end of the game. That's the second half of the Mercy Rule. If you're up by 50 in the second half, the game is over. If you're up by 35 in the second half, then you're in the Mercy Rule. Well, you're in the running clocks, first phase of the Mercy Rule.
Actually, I was reading a thing in the late 2000s, Gene. I'll tell you after this punt.
Yeah, Carson Dixon. And
good punt.
Santa Fe just saying, or Taos just saying, stay away from it, stay away from it. So, yeah, so he standing back on his own, inside his own end zone, and he's able to get that out to, let's see where they're going to put that thing down.
Close to the 40-yard line, the Taos 40, about the 41.
Wow.
Nice kick.
Yeah, that was probably good for a net of probably at least 50 yards.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
anyway, Gene, there was a 3-year stretch of time when the most lopsided football games in the entire country, 3 in a row, were all from New Mexico. And we know at least one of them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Bob Scott. He defeated Bernalillo 95-0. And everybody was really up in arms over that. And which was interesting because everybody got really up in arms, and Bob caught a lot of hell for that. And so, but the thing that was interesting was that Bernalillo tried a Hail Mary pass the last play of the game, and we intercepted it, and a young man was running down the sideline with it, and we were all screaming, somebody tackle him, anybody. You know, we were hoping maybe his own man would tackle him or something. He got hit at the 2-yard line and dove into the end zone. The referee went over and picked up the ball. They didn't even do the point after thing. But the thing that was interesting was it was 89-0 at the time, and on the last play, and then Taos, but the same night, Artesia beat somebody 88-0, and that was okay. So, anyway, but
yeah, but in any event, I mean, I don't care who's doing it. There is absolutely no reason to ever do that to another team.
No,
not at this, definitely not at this level.
So right now, let's catch up here on this football game. And the ball right now, Taos has it. They're at their own 45-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
And I believe Beno Flores is out of the game. I've not seen him back this half.
No, that's right. We haven't. So they're going to run out of the straight shotgun this time. And Damon Eli looking over to his receiver on the right. I don't know, he signaled something to him. Gets away from one tackler. He had a couple of Hilltoppers had a good shot at him. And then there for a moment, I thought sure that was going to catch him behind the line that time was going to be Antonio Vigil. And Antonio's pretty fast, but boy, he had him behind the line for a pretty good loss. And then but Damon ends up bringing it back up. Well, he probably picked up maybe a half a yard on that play. Or no, he didn't pick up anything. No,
right to the line of scrimmage. And
that was a
60-yard run for absolutely no gain.
So 8:20, the clock moving here, and it's 4th down. And it's going to be 4th and a long 5, and they're going to go for it. I guess they are. So Damon Eli gets the snap, rolls back to his left, looking downfield, and pass is incomplete. So the ball will go over to the Hilltoppers. It was in, and right there was Jose Salazar to knock it away for the Hilltoppers. So that makes it 42. It's 42-0, and the clock's still running, but it's going to go over now to the Hilltoppers, and the ball will be spotted right at the 45-yard line of the Taos Tigers, and so it'll be 1st and 10 for Los Alamos. 42-0 here in the fourth quarter. 7.5 minutes to go. Running clock right now on this. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I was going to say it'd be nice for the Toppers to get some points here. We're shut out last week, only managed a touchdown the week before, so just to get something, and they're in good. They have obviously good field position, so it'd be nice to see them get something out of this drive.
Yes, really. So they start things off, and then Jose Salazar had lined up as a wide receiver on the left side, and then all of a sudden he got up and just started running back toward where the quarterback and the running back were, and then he stopped, and then I don't know. Then it was mass confusion, so they called a timeout.
I think there was some trickery afoot there, Gene.
Yeah, they must have been trying to pull a sneaky beaky, but somehow the beaky didn't sneaky. So anyway.
It did not.
No,
it did not.
No, it didn't. So we're going to try this again. Clock stopped at 7 exactly. And so the Hilltoppers, there's a different formation for you. Now they're going to do the same thing again. They're going to give it to, this time they did the exact same thing, and they lined up completely different. The front line was the line in the front line had the players pushed together right in the middle, and then other players just spread out. Los Alamos is going to take another timeout. With 6:40, but before they ran that play, they had Jose Salazar run back toward toward the shotgun backs, and then they stopped the play. So then they came out and they did the exact same thing, and then Jose ran in front of the quarterback, who would be Hertzall, and then I thought he was going to give it to Jose, but he shoved it in Jose's gut and then pulled it out himself, and then started to go and went nowhere. So it's now 2nd down and about 10.5. The ball now just a little past the 46-yard line. So I guess no more trickery, I guess. Hertzall, long pass downfield. Whoa.
That was intended for Salazar, running the go route on the right side, but a little bit long for Jose, and that's going to bring up 3rd down for the Toppers. 6:15 remaining with the clock running. The Taos Tigers still up 42-0 in this ball game. So see what Garrett Williams wants to do here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, so it's, kind of a passing situation. They got 2 receivers out to the right. Well, they're going to, kind of a little delayed handoff went to James Rodriguez, and he had some running room. I thought he looked like he might be able to pick up that 1st down, but somebody come in and cut him short. And I thought he went further than that.
I thought he did too. They're only going to give him about 2. I thought he got 5 or 6.
Well, he was much further down the field than that. And so, all right, now the assistant coach in charge of timeouts can relax. We're all done.
It's been an intense half for him. But
you got 3 timeouts, and you when are you going to take them? It's like it's not easy.
You have to plan. You don't plan to fail. You fail to plan, Gene. That's what happens.
But yeah, it's a kind of an intense position to be in. So 4th down, and it's going to be about 4th and about 8.
And the Tigers will take a timeout.
Oh, mama!
So. And I believe they still have one left.
Yeah, they have one more.
Oh, right. So this is a very strategic timeout. Only up by 6 touchdowns with 5 minutes left.
That's right.
You do not want to take chances at this point in the ball game, Jim.
No, some of these teams like Los Alamos can be explosive, and some of these teams, you just can't let your guard down. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely not.
So, anyway, 5:31 to go here in the final quarter. 42-0. The Hilltoppers now on 4th down, and the ball at the 44-yard line.
Boy, there's a lot of whistles going on down there. I'm not sure what's happening.
So, we're ready to go, and comes back now to Jeremiah Herzl. Pass upfield. And I'm not sure if that was complete or not, but
dumps it off in the flat for minimal gain. It is of no consequence.
I was going to say all for naught because even if he completes it, he picks up 1 yard. So, no, not 1 yard. He picks up 3 yards. So the ball now is at the 43. And the clock moving, and the Tigers will take over. Tigers could almost victory formation this thing out.
Yeah, they'll just be a few seconds short, actually. They just wanted to kneel 3 times and punt. And we'll see what they end up doing.
Yeah, they could.
They've got a receiver out here to the wide side.
Yeah, they got one on each side. They're going to run out of the eye. And Damon is just going to give it to his fullback, and this time I think it's Suazo. And so Matthew Suazo, and Matthew will take it over left guard, and he's going to pick up 2 yards. That's
already his 9th carry of this half.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Suazo probably ought to take a little break there. They've got the got the wrecking ball, Jerome Martinez out there.
Yeah, really. Under 4 minutes. Let's see. Eli Suazo, he's wrapped up in the backfield, with charging through for the Hilltoppers that time was Tiki Nieto. And boy, as soon as he handed that ball off to Suazo, Tiki, it was right there immediately. And he drops him back for a 2-yard loss. And
I thought he got him
he certainly did. It was much further back than that. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 now. And the clock coming down to 3 minutes. Whoa, they called a blitz, and with James Rodriguez, he came flying through that line. Wow, and timed it absolutely perfectly. The only problem is that he came through from the left side. He came right between the center and the left and their right guard, but they ran the play to the left. Otherwise, James Rodriguez he'd have been right smack in the middle of it, and he'd have just racked somebody up.
Yeah, if they had run anywhere other than where they ran, James would have been right there. Unfortunately, they had the exact right call for that particular blitz.
Yeah, they really did. And James, he just came firing through. It was amazing. And so let's see, they're going to give him a gain there as they finally do, they get a gain up to the 30-yard line. And now we're under 2 minutes to go. And 1st and 10 from the 30, and they're in the victory formation. So that'll do it. It's 1st and 10, so
in theory they still have to run one more play.
yes.
So
well, by the time they get all this stuff going and everything, that's going to be it. The official.
I think the officials are just waving them off,
yes.
which is the right thing to do.
So that will do it. And Hilltoppers go down 42-0 to the Taos Tigers, and Art Abreu comes here to Los Alamos, takes the victory. So, you have any highlights of the second half, Mike?
Well, Gene, the Toppers played a little bit better on the offensive end with Jeremiah Hartzell back there trying to run the offense, and did kind of a hodgepodge offense considering the injuries and a lot of other things going on, but actually did not do a bad job. Got a couple of nice running plays there, and did complete a couple of passes as well. So a little bit better for Los Alamos in the second half, but for the Taos Tigers, Matt Suazo, obviously the workhorse there, carried the ball 11 times in that half with a running clock.
Yes,
that's an impressive feat, actually.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a pretty good trick without a running clock, and he did it. But in any event, the Tigers tack on a couple more touchdowns in that third quarter, and were able to win this one handily here at Sullivan Field. So 42-0. Like I said, Gene, it would have been nice to see the Toppers at least get some points on the board there late, but just unfortunately didn't materialize for them. But, again, a little bit better in the second half than maybe we saw in the first half. First half was all Taos. Toppers were able to make a couple of stops there on defense in that second half. So a little bit better, but still a ways to go. When Toppers going to have to prepare for the fall now, and let's see if they can take what they learned from these 3 ball games. And
well, they're supposed to play one more.
They are, and I don't really understand exactly how that works. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the New Mexico Activities Association is going to assign them a ball game.
That's what Garrett Williams told me.
So that's an interesting idea. That is, I would say, probably unprecedented. I don't think that's outside of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, in any event, so Toppers fall to 0-3. It's I don't like their chances for the playoffs, Gene, but in any event,
Well, you never know.
You do never know. This is a crazy, crazy season. Anything could happen.
They may have looked over Los Alamos' performance and figured they should be in that state tournament. So.
Could be. I don't know that they won't do that.
That's
but
right.
in any event, Gene, whatever happens next week with the Toppers, they were able to get at least a few good looks at some players, and coming back hopefully this fall, everything will be back to normal, and they'll be able to get some stuff ironed out and hopefully go forward from there.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that happened with the Hilltoppers this year was that they went up against Gallup, against Capital. Capital's one of the top teams in the state this year, and so
if only they had a running game. They're just missing that running game as Capital. If only they had like some sort of runner, that would be good for them. But they just not this year.
That crazy Luke Padilla, he finally going to graduate. Wow. So
nobody in Los Alamos will miss Mr. Padilla. He ran roughshod over the Toppers and most of the defenses he played for 4 years.
Yes, he did. And so, but, I think what happened, though, with the Hilltoppers was that they kind of, they didn't have a whole lot of time to put things together. And I think what they did was that Garrett Williams kind of built things around Luke Gonzalez. He's a sophomore, but he was going to be quarterback, and he looked like he could be a good quarterback. And then last week got hurt in the first half against Santa Fe. And so I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but he didn't come back for the second half, and he didn't play tonight. I think I saw him down on the sideline throwing a football around in just street clothes, but because it was obvious last week in the second half, Santa Fe, that they had nobody to play quarterback, and I thought they might use Jose, but I don't know why they didn't. But
well, Jose has played quarterback before and actually looked like, at times he could emerge as a pretty decent passer. He is just really, really fast. So if they wanted to use him as a slash type player, he's ideal for that. But the Toppers electing to go in a different direction.
Yes, totally. So, okay. Anyway, Mike, that's going to do it for us. So, Mike, thanks a lot for joining me tonight. It was fun, and as it always is. And so this is Gene Mortensen for Mike Katko and for John McHale and Nate Limback. And let me start over, okay? This is Gene Mortensen with Mike Mays. For Mike Mays and sorry, Mike. Too many mics. Anyway, it's Gene Mortensen for Mike Mays and John McHale and Nate Limback. And we want to thank Art. Don't forget to hug that penguin. But the most important thing you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And night-night, sweetie pie. I love you so very much, and I sure do miss you, sweetie. Bye-bye, everybody.